Hi, I'm the Red Lady and welcome to episode 3 of the Red Lady Travels. And in this episode, we'll be taking a tour around the famous painter Monet's house and gardens. Now, this isn't a history lesson on Monet. This is me sharing my experience of visiting Monet's house and garden with you. First of all, a little bit about Monet. Claude Monet, or full name Oscar Claude Monet, was born on 14th of November 1840, Paris, France, and he died on the 5th of December 1926 at the age of 86. So Monet was a French painter and founder of Impressionist painting, which transformed French painting in the second half of the 19th century. So Monet mostly painted people undertaking leisure activities in Paris and the landscape. So he developed his own style that captured the unique perception of observation of nature itself, or the act of perceiving nature. He was brought up in Normandy and was influenced by the paintings he saw there of the resorts of the Normandy coast. So when he was 22, he joined the Paris studio of the academic history painter Charles Gleyre, and he didn't have a lot of success in his early days as a painter. Monet moved to Giverny in 1883, and his home and his gardens became a place where he would gather with his painter friends, including Manet and Renoir. So Monet generally worked outdoors on large canvases and then completed them in his studio. So as he tried to capture nature more realistically, he rejected the conventional composition of the time. In the 1910s and 20s, Monet focused on painting his famous water lily pond in his own gardens. So you can visit Monet's house and gardens if you ever happen to be in that neck of the woods. The gardens are stunning, and you can visit the famous lily pond, and you can wander around inside Monet's house, which has a very charming French country style to it. And there is a gift shop, quite a large gift shop actually, that sells all sorts of things with Monet's art prints on them. I think there was a cafe there, but I didn't go in there because I didn't want to waste any time sitting in a cafe when I could be wandering around, looking at Monet's stuff. I didn't take a lot of video footage, it's mostly photographs because it is a very popular tourist destination and there were lots of people there from all over the world, and it was easier to grab a few brief shots when people had moved out of the way for a few seconds. So let's get to the tour and I'll talk you through it. I'll start with the house. This is the kitchen. I loved all the copper pots and pans, and the tiling in the kitchen is just lovely, and they actually sold the same tiles in the gift shop as coasters, so I had to have one, and I now use it in my office. So as we move through the house, as you will see, there are so many paintings and prints on the walls that I can't talk about them. It would take up far too much time, but if you're a fan of Monet's work and know about his style and his influences, then I'm sure you would recognize them. This room is the dining room, and it's painted all in yellow. Unfortunately, I didn't get a shot of the dining room table. I didn't manage to, it was too many people. So as well as exuding this French country charm, the walls in here are covered in Japanese prints, which was one of Monet's influences. Now there are Japanese prints all over the house on the walls, but I think most of them are located in the dining room. Now, as well as all these stunning Japanese prints, I really liked the curtains as well. There were these lovely white border anglais curtains in there, which I just thought were really lovely. And so the next room we'll be visiting is Monet's art studio, which is you have to go down a few steps into this studio, and it's not a huge space, but it's not a small space either. And there are so many amazing paintings hanging in here. It is unreal. You could easily sit in here for hours. I didn't want to leave, it was so cool. And the energy inside the whole house is so relaxed. There is such a lovely energy and atmosphere here. So if you are an artist or if you are a fan of Monet, then this is certainly the place to come, and I think I did my best to get as many shots of these paintings in this studio as I possibly could to show you, considering the amount of people that were there. And so I will leave you with these paintings for a few moments before we carry on with the tour. Now, you can also go upstairs in Monet's house, and I have quite a few shots of the various bedrooms that are up there, and the view out of, the windows is lovely as well. So I'll leave you with some of those shots as well for a moment before we move on to the gardens. So the gardens are quite large, and you can take a good hour, at least an hour or longer, to walk around them. There's so many amazing plants and flowers here. So if you're a keen gardener like me, then it really is a joy to walk in these gardens. And it was such a beautiful sunny day on the day of my visit that I think I really did get the best time that I could have got out of this visit. So I visited in August of 2022. And again, I will leave you for a few moments just to look at the lovely flowers in this garden before we move on to the lily pond. And by the way, there are some lovely fancy French chickens here too. The lily pond is further on down past the garden, and to be perfectly honest, it was much larger than I expected it to be. The lily pond is a big pond, and when you're there you can totally understand Monet's fixation on painting this this pond. You know, it is absolutely stunning here. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like, share and subscribe. I will put some relevant links in the description box below, so please do check those out as well. I will leave you with the rest of these lily pond images and a couple of videos. And in the next episode, I will be in Chateau Vaux-le-Vicomte, and I'll be talking about the art patron and collector Nicolas Fouquet, a fascinating man who came to a bit of a sticky end. I am the Red Lady. Take care, and I will see you soon.